always here. Get ready to flow. Let's dive deep with PiSeas Tarot. Your business is my business. I see every ache, every kiss, the push, the pull, the silent cries. I'm exposing all the lies, revealing the hidden truth. With me, you have the proof. Your business is my business. True. Welcome to PiSeas Tarot. True.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to PiSeas Tarot Live. I am your host. I am Mimi Lightseer, and tonight we are exploring a celebrity card reading like no other. And as you can imagine, guess who we're covering? Tonight we are talking about Donald J. Trump, everybody. Donald J. Trump. And I know that a lot of people, either you love him or you hate him. It's just what it is, right? But this is a commentary-based, intuitive, focused energy reading with patterns and pressures, not personal facts, gossip, or unverified claims, okay? These readings do not assert the truth about any individual's private life. We are examining symbolic themes, emotional dynamics, and public-facing energy as it relates to visibility, power, and influence. Everything shared here is for reflection and entertainment purposes only. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. With that, let's go ahead and get into this reading, y'all. So before we jumped on, right, I went ahead and looked at Donald Trump's birth chart, and immediately this became this was a very much so of an aha for me, because it clicked right when I looked at his chart. So you all know, maybe not, when you think about astrology, it's three main impressionable planetary alignments. It's your sun sign, your moon sign, and then your rising sign, okay? So sun, moon, and rising really tells you all that you need to know about your personality type and everything like that. So if you didn't know, Donald Trump is a Gemini sun, okay, which motivates his identity, his messaging, and his adaptability. His moon is in Sagittarius, which holds his emotional drivers, belief systems, and risk appetite, which to me, Sagittarius live on the edge, okay? They are not conforming to nobody's shape or standard. They create their own box, and then they decide if they want to make it bigger or smaller as they go, right? His rising is Leo. So this is about his public image, performance, and authority, okay? So why is this important? Because his natal chart's three main drivers are fire and air, and you cannot have fire without air, okay? So think about the transformation between air and fire. Now, this also speaks to the necessity of having optimized visibility, narrative control, persuasion, momentum, and limited tolerance for emotional vulnerability and introspection. So we definitely can see that across the board without even pulling a card that this is who this man is, okay? So I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get into this to learn more about what is potentially going on in the life of Donald J. Trump right now. As you know, everything here is alleged. So I want to stress that it is alleged. This is entertainment only. We're just going with the flow to see what happens. All right. So here we go. Now, as we look into this, let's look at the overall insights for Donald J. Trump. Dear Spirit, thank you for clear and precise messages. Thank you for coming through and giving me the clarity and the insight to understand it, to be able to tell the story effectively and clearly. Thank you, amen. And I say, all right, Spirit, what is going on in the overall energy of Donald J. Trump? What is going on in the overall energy space of Donald J. Trump? Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump. What is the overall energy for Donald J. Trump? All right. Spirit of gratitude. Okay, that is interesting. Spirit of gratitude. Okay. Now, there has been alleged that Donald Trump has been having a lot of secret health issues going on right now. So it could be that right now he is dealing with the spirit of gratitude, even though it's not reflecting. Okay, this could be things that he's thinking about. If the health ailments are true, if he did really have a stroke, he could be thinking about like his life, his legacy, the things that are the intangibles. And while he is not verbalizing that outwardly, right, no one would know what this man is really thinking or feeling. But when you look at that card and you specifically look at where it's saying, you know, you're thinking about it, right, and it's the lotus flower, he, again, as I'm going to reiterate, is not an emotional person. Okay, he's not an emotional person at all. So it could be that spirit is trying to get him to think about things from a different capacity and to think about it in the notion of, you know, you need to be a little bit more soft. I just heard also that he is also possibly dealing with some long-term regrets, which is also where like that spirit of gratitude is, trying to reshape the narrative and trying to control that. But we'll find out more. What is the truth that Donald Trump needs to know right now for his journey? What is the truth that Donald Trump needs to reckon with on his journey? The truth for his journey. All right. The truth. Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. So that is so interesting that this card just came out, because I literally just said to you guys, he may be reflecting over his life where he has some missed opportunities to be a better person, seeking to expand his consciousness and his awareness. I was made aware that recently, I think it was like this week, they just did the prayer breakfast, and then he nominated like a day in May for National Corporate Prayer. It's kind of funny to me that all of a sudden it's like this stronghold on pushing Christianity. But this is also the same man who got on stage and said 2 Corinthians. Okay, 2 Corinthians. You don't go to church to know that it's 2 Corinthians, right? Just saying. So it could also be the health scare. That if that is true that he did suffer a stroke, it could be the health scare that has really kind of spooked him, right? And as it has also been alleged that he is demented, right? So if he is at the end of his life, which statistically he is, age and health wise, right? It could also be reflecting that particular energy as well of him looking back over his life and again seeing those missed opportunities. Now, for giggles, okay, for giggles, I brought out my True Crime deck, and I also bought my Places deck. So, what is the true crime going on here with Donald Trump? What is the true crime going on here with Donald Trump's spirit? The true crime. The true crime. What is going on with Donald J. Trump? Okay. Intuition. Y'all, this man's intuition is going off the hook. Do y'all hear this? Y'all see this? Intuition. But look at this. This also looks like a prison cell of some sort. Oh my gosh. That is a prison cell. Maybe he knew it was something he shouldn't be doing and he did it anyway. Okay, let's keep going. What is the true crime? Dog, these cards is flying out. Okay, there's some type of meeting occurring, okay, which is not unheard of. This man is the president of the United States. Everything they do consists of a meeting, right? So there's some type of meeting going on. The other card, y'all shut the front door. Imprisonment. Didn't I just tell y'all when I pulled this intuition card with I said that looked like a jail cell? Okay. So we got intuition, We have a meeting. We have imprisoned. Okay, I'll take one more card for this. What is the true crime surrounding Donald J. Trump? What is the true crime? Okay. Okay, grandparent. We got grandparent here. So that could be hinting towards his age. We'll find out more about that. All right, that's a strange one. Does he have any grandkids? Well, yeah, he does. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the places. What are influential places for Donald J. Trump at this time? What are some influential places for Donald J. Trump at this time? I said earlier in this reading, he is thinking a lot about his legacy, right? Okay, those two cards tried to come out. Places for Donald J. Trump. Okay. We have the elevator, a vertical transport, transit between floors, accessibility. Okay. So we have the elevator here. Okay. It's talking about going up, but things can be going down. We also have the bathroom. Okay. Pristine cleaners, waters, and renewal. Okay. So we have the bathroom going on here. We also have here perilous realm, danger lurks, treacherous paths, and ominous shadows, y'all. Listen, it's some danger coming this way for this man. Okay, I can't make this stuff up. Like, it is real here. It's here. It's happening. It's going down. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but I want to know more about this. So let's go ahead and look at what exactly is going on with Donald Trump when it comes to his public energy and private energy, and find out what are these clues that we're looking at. What the heck is going on here? Here we go. All right, so these are our initial cards that we pulled. So I'm just going to move them over here, because this is where I feel the most energy from. Imprisonment, meeting, and intuition. It feels like he got set up at a meeting and he knew better. Or he possibly sensed this, okay? I will tell you, this man does not strike me as being an incompetent man totally, like what some people may think. I think he's very intentional on what he's doing. And I say that because the way that things are being structured is in such a way that, yes, he continues to commit the crimes that are being committed. However, he has other people lined up to take the fall for the crimes that are being committed. Okay. So for example, the whole situation with Homeland Security. If that ship goes down, guess who takes the fall for that? It's not him. Even though he's calling the shots from the behind the scenes, she's the face. She's the person, right? She goes down, okay? So let's start off this reading. What is the overall energy of Donald J. Trump right now, Spirit? What is the overall energy of Donald J. Trump? What is the overall energy? These are my big A cards. What is the overall energy of Donald J. Trump, Spirit? All right. You can't even shuffle these like this. Okay, so I'm going to take this one. Oh, he is burning, y'all. Y'all, I am trying to tell y'all something is going down with this man. Do you hear me? Oh, take this one. And I am going to take this one. And I'm going to take this one. And I am going to take this one. All right, y'all. So y'all see this? We got 5 cards going on just for his overall energy. Now, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So this is a failure to do something. There was a miss somewhere, okay, with this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. There was a miss, okay? There was a miss somewhere. There was a failure to do something. So overall energy, what I'm picking up immediately is that he is burdened. Okay, he is definitely burdened. The choices, that goes back to the spirit of gratitude. The choices that have been made in the past, he's being kind of shielded and protected from that. Okay, so now we're at a point, we're in an inflection point where things are really starting to get intense. The things that he kind of like did and was able to get away from before, he is not able to get away from that now. He is burdened. He has an obligation. He is highly stressed. He is at a point where he is really, if we're being honest, on the defense about a lot of things, which makes sense why we have this Page of Swords here, right? Because what that tells me is there is an influx of communication, but it's not really valid, tangible communication going on here. If you really think about all of the stuff that's coming out from the White House, right? It is gossip. Okay, it's not really valid at all. It's like this flood the zone strategy. Okay, so even if that is being designed to distract, in which many Americans have agreed that this is a distraction ploy, right? Even if that's being the case, there is some sense of regret here with this Eight of Swords, okay? And the reason why I bring that out is because this man is afraid. If you think about it, I don't know about you. I'm just gonna put it this way. I have children, right? One of them, at times, when they know they're in trouble, they can try to deflect to try to distract you from the real issues at heart. So one thing that can happen is, you're fussing about something. It's like, oh, did you do your hair today? Your hair looks really nice. It's a distraction. So now you're not focused on the issue at hand. And then you stop talking about it because now you're focused on a compliment and what that did for you as opposed to the larger issue at hand. So what I'm saying with this is, everything that is going on right now is becoming so erratic, so dysfunctional, so I can't think of the word, so just overwhelming, that many people have openly said how disempowered they feel. Because no one feels excited anymore. No one like it's just too much going on. It's just chaotic and dysfunction all the time. And even though people are trying to go on and live their lives as normal Americans, these things are coming up in everyday conversations that it would not be commonplace to discuss politics, right? People are just like, I am so overwhelmed. I am so sick of this, right? Now, also, he is trying to be very creative. Okay, he is an air sign. So there's ample air energy all within this particular chart. Okay, he's a Gemini. Now, with this Ace of Swords here, I do believe that he is trying to find creative ways to continue to keep people from talking and suspecting and doing all these different things. But again, it's not necessarily for the benefit of others. This is self motivating. Okay, self-interest. And that's also showing up here with this Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay, that's that selfishness. So basically, any and everything that is coming out right now in the world is not for the betterment of the people as it should be. It's all about how do I, A, keep myself out of jail, and B, how do I make as much money as I can, and C, how do I set my family up for best success so that when I am no longer here, I can leave, good tidings to these people because I don't have the money that I think that I have, right? And that's where you see the pettiness, which is also coming up here with this Queen of Swords, with this Ace of Swords, right? It's that pettiness that's coming out of this. Like, for example, I saw somewhere this week that he was talking about suing the Epstein estate. Like, how do you sue a dead man? I don't know, but he's moving forward like nothing's happening. Okay, who does that? Okay, so where am I going with all of this? Because I know I'm here, there, and everywhere. With the Queen of Pentacles being at the bottom of the deck, it feels like there's a box that he overlooked, that he failed to check. That's going to be the downfall of what's going on here. Okay, there is an energy here of I got this, I'm the man, I could do whatever I want to do. And yes, that's true, you have been emboldened and empowered. However, there's one little thing that you forgot to do. And that one little thing is going to be the total demise of everything that we know when it comes to this man. Watch. Now, the first question that we have, what narrative is being projected publicly? What narrative has been projected publicly? All right. So here we go. Hey, Lala. All right. So when it comes to, do I want to do my Golden Girl deck or do I want to do this deck? I'm going to do the Golden Girl deck. Yeah, I'll do the Golden Girl deck for this one. Okay. What narrative is being projected publicly? When it comes to Donald Trump, what is the narrative that is being projected publicly? Okay, y'all, listen. I'm sitting up here shuffling. Guess what card just fell out? The Justice card in reverse. Okay, I literally just said there's going to be something that is going to come out that's going to be that one thing that's going to point to the fact it was something that you did not do. It was something that you failed to do. Okay, so with the Justice card, that tells me right there that this is about to blackfire and blow up in his face. Okay, I know that's like commonplace, but this is also going to highlight the fact that he's been dishonest, he's lacked accountability, and it's going to expose the corruption of the United States government. Okay, and when I say the United States government, I am not just limiting it to that particular division. I feel like this is going to be a cross-functional takedown. I'm just saying it. That's what it's coming across to me as. Y'all, why at the bottom of the deck, the Tower card is there? Didn't I just say that? Okay. What narrative is being projected publicly when it comes to Donald Trump? We got the Strength card. We have the King of Wands in reverse. Okay. So where am I going with all of this? We have two major arcanas here, followed by the King of Wands in reverse. Okay. Now, why is this important? This is my Golden Girls deck. Okay. So you got Blanche, the gold digger here, right? What this is exposing to me is that he was being corrupt for selfish gain, monetary gain, self-interest, right? Which is also probably why he needed to get back into the White House, because he was avoiding accountability and responsibility for other crimes that had been committed before he was in office again, right? So there's that. We also have the Strength card, okay? So this man pretty much thinks he's untouchable. Okay, he thinks he's all that in a bag of chips and then some. And people, again, have empowered him to think that way, right? But when I look at the Strength card that is preceded by this Justice card in reverse, that is telling me, okay, that I'm laughing, but I'm very serious. This makes him feel, because he never got caught doing the crimes that he was doing before, that he can continue to get away with it. Okay? The corruption of the United States government. We also have the King of Wands in reverse. So this tells me that this is not going to work. Okay? This is not going to continue to go the distance as well as he thinks it is. It's all good right now because you're in a place of power. But let's just say these folks impeach and remove you from power, then what? Okay? I'm also picking up here that there was a lot more things that he wanted to do that he is falling short of doing. Okay? So when we ask the question about what is being projected publicly, it definitely feels like to me, with all three of these cards here, that he's overwhelmed. Listen, this man is not, although it feels like he's not paying attention to what is going on out there, he is. He's not, it's not lost on him, okay? He is scared, okay? He is very scared right now. And that's why he continues to put forth this imagery of, I'm successful, I am man, hear me roar, I can do whatever I do. But to me, it is coming across. And the reason why I'm specifically saying that is because as I'm talking to you, my feet just got seriously cold and nothing has changed. Okay. So what am I going with all of this? I believe that he is definitely fearful of what may be. And that's why he's trying to accelerate the intensity of the things that he is doing to continue to distract you from the other things that are coming to the light. Okay. Now, what feelings does Donald J. Trump have right now that he's trying to avoid? What feelings does Donald J. Trump have right now that he is trying to avoid? I can't even shuffle my cards. What feelings does Donald J. Trump have that he is trying to avoid? Judgment in reverse. Y'all, this ain't looking good for your boy. Okay? I just talked about trying to avoid consequences of his actions. Five of Swords in reverse. Ooh-wee. Good, googly muggly. And the Ace of Wands. Okay. So what is this telling me? When we talk about his feelings that he's trying to avoid, well, for one, he doesn't like the bad press. We all know that, right? Which goes back to what I disclosed earlier, talking about that Leo rising with that public image being performance driven in authority, as well as that moon in Sagittarius. Okay. So he has this high risk appetite to do some of the most obscene, obscure things. But then when he does it and he gets the backlash, he don't like the negative press. So where am I going with all of this? He lacks self-awareness. He doesn't want to hold himself accountable. He has inner turmoil and conflict, okay? There's a lot of regret there, as I've said once before, but then also with this Ace of Wands, what that is telling me is that he is trying to persevere. He's trying to find a way out of this, trying to redeem himself, but there is no redeeming. You see what I'm saying? The redemption window has closed. There has never been, and if you think about some of the things that are coming out, it does not reek a man of sorrow. It doesn't reek a man who is self-aware or conscientious to any of it. I can't speak to that, right? I'm telling you what it feels like to me. Someone who is sociologically disconnected, disengaged, and unaware and don't care, because that's where the privilege comes in. He has been insulated and covered and protected by ample privilege that disallows him from reaping what he has sown towards others. And I'm not just talking about the collective at large. We're talking about the people that he's been bullying, the people that he's been discriminatory of, right? All of that. That's why I find it funny that the first card that came out was the Spirit of Gratitude, as well as this card talking about growth and expansion, your consciousness and awareness, because it's very obvious that he lacks all of the above. But that does not mean as people get older and they suffer major life disruptions in terms of health crises, that you don't start to reconsider things in a different way because you know you're closer to the grave, okay? Now, what emotions is he also trying to avoid? What is the emotions that he's trying to avoid? We have the High Priestess in reverse. Y'all, I can't make this up. I swear I can't make this up. Emotions that Donald Trump. The Queen of Wands. And then the Four of Wands. Listen, y'all, this man is not happy, okay? This man is frightened and scared. You know what? Because he knows that this stuff is coming. And he's going to continue to do any and everything that he can to try to get out of this. And unfortunately, it ain't going to work that way. Okay? So we got the High Priestess. Okay, ignoring his intuition, which is likely why the intuition card came up here with those prison bars. Okay, lacking the intuition, don't know what you're doing, ain't paying attention to nothing, ignoring all the signs and all the consequences. And why was he doing that? Because of the Queen of Wands. Okay, feeling empowered, feeling emboldened, feeling like you're being motivated, thinking that your stuff don't stink. But you did all of that and you still not happy. You did all of that and you still struggling. Okay? Having all kind of conflicts, not only in your home, but in your career. Everywhere you go, it is drama following you. But the question is, why is that? Because you are using your self-assurance to feel like, what this is telling me is, this man just knew. I don't know who has gassed this man up with nowhere to go. But that was definitely the case here for him. His intuition has been trying to talk to him. Now, what that intuition is saying is unbeknownst to me. I guess I could look at it to find out. But his intuition has been trying to talk to him. Matter of fact, let me get a different deck of cards. Spirit, what? I didn't talk to you, Siri. Spirit, what? Not talking to you. What is Donald Trump's intuition telling him right now? What is Donald Trump's intuition telling him right now? Y'all, the Seven of Swords. I swear I can't make this up. The Justice card. Oh, y'all see how these cards flying out? I can't make this up. His intuition is talking to him loud and clear. He's just ignoring it. He's just ignoring it. Y'all, I can't make this up. So with this Seven of Swords in reverse, okay, this is somebody who's being very conniving, very sneaky, someone who think they got away with something. But what this is saying, you ain't get away with nothing. Okay, you did not get away. You are going to get caught. Okay, you're definitely going to get caught. So we have the Seven of Swords here, followed by the Justice card. All that stuff that you've been out here kicking, it is about to come to the forefront. Okay, the truth is coming out. This is about justice. What is right? How do you supersede the getting caught card with the Justice card? Make it make sense. So this is where his intuition, he's probably having dreams about going to jail, y'all. I'm laughing because who dreams about going to jail? But I really strongly feel like that's what his intuition is telling him. Think about the intuition card. We also got the Page of Pentacles here. Okay? So what is this talking about? He's still desiring to do more stuff. Okay? We got the Empress card here. We also have the Ten of Swords here and the Devil. Listen, y'all. First of all, this feels like he's about to go down about this Epstein files. And the reason why I'm saying that, and I know that that's like basically a bad word in today's society. However, the Page of Pentacles deals with desire. Look at this card and how she's looking at that pentacle. That was topped by this Empress card. Okay, so the Empress represents high feminine energy, someone who is motherly, someone who is highly desirable in a provocative manner. Okay, but the reason why I'm picking up the Epstein situation here is because it is Ten of Swords. All right, you did this to yourself. It was your desire for other women who did this to yourself. I mean, look how she's sitting. Out of all the decks that I have, look how she's sitting. It's kind of raunchy, don't you think? For the Empress, that is. But with this Queen, this Ten of Swords followed by the Devil card,
he's not ready for all of this. It's just.
let Let me tell you something, baby. You did this to yourself. Your unhealthy attachments to women, subsidies, the lifestyle, the rich, the famous, the all of those things, the material benefits, again, the selfish, the greed, all of that was all done by yourself. You did this to yourself. Okay? And it's coming out. That's what his intuition is telling him. That's why he's moving the way that he's moving. And he probably senses that if he don't stop doing what he's doing, that the world will slow down, the news cycle will slow down, and people will see him for who he really is. Y'all, this is nuts. So the question then becomes, what emotional baggage is coming with maintaining this image? What emotional cost comes with maintaining this image? All right. We have the Page of Coins in reverse, the Ten of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. Y'all, he's worried about his family. He's worried about dropping the ball with his family. He's very, very concerned. Why did I just hear, y'all, it's not what we think it is? There is a reason why this man will not release his taxes. I don't know if y'all heard, because it's been so much to go on all at once. However, he's suing the IRS for releasing his taxes without his permission. If that has been the norm, why don't you want people to see your tax information? If I want to go buy a house, I have to show you my tax stuff. If I want to go buy a car, they ask you for sometimes for your W-2 and your tax information, like depending on what you're doing, what you're buying, right? But the point is, I can't do nothing in life without showing my taxes. And you want to be the president of the United States and not have to show your taxes? That's a little suspicious to me. So my point in saying that is, I strongly feel like with this Page of Coins and this Ten of Cups, followed by this King of Pentacles in reverse, things ain't what they seem to be. This is not what it seems to be. There's a lot of worry here. Again, everything that we're talking about is alleged, okay? But what I'm telling you is these cards are speaking to a pattern and not a personal detail. Okay, there's a pattern here. Ooh-wee. So now I want to get down to why. What is this pattern about? How does this affect the power, pressure, and control of this particular individual? Now, the question then becomes, where is the power surrounded by Donald J. Trump? Okay. Where is the power surrounded by Donald J. Trump? I'm going to clean up some of these cards, even though I got more cards, so I could keep pulling cards for days. I got decks for days. But I think we got the message there. I want to keep these cards out because I want to focus on this. All right. So, where is the power surrounded by Donald J. Trump? Where is the power surrounding with Donald J. Well, I see the devil card, clear as day. Where is the power surrounding Donald J. Trump? Where is the power surrounding Donald J. Trump? Y'all, why I just looked down and I just saw this. As I was saying that, Okay? They know. They know. Now, who is they and what do they know? We don't know, but we're going to find out. Where's the power surrounding Donald J. Trump? Ooh, Six of Swords in reverse. Nine of Wands and the Chariot. Y'all, they're going really fast to do a cover-up. That's what's happening. People didn't think that this was going to become what it is. They didn't think that this information was going to get out. Y'all, I have a strong feeling here that the Epstein files, I said it here and I'm going to say it again, the Epstein files is going to be the downside of him. I think a lot of the other things that he has done will be swept underneath the rug because we all talked about the corruption earlier and we know that our government is very corrupt. However, what we know is too is that yes, while he said, you know, I'm going to release the files and we also know that they're over here deleting the files as well. So if it were nothing to be sought after, then why all of a sudden are we deleting stuff? I mean, riddle me that. If you had nothing to do with it, why are we deleting things? So I strongly feel like this is where he's becoming defensive and is in a hurry to try to distract and try to do other things. Because we have that here with this Six of Swords in reverse, this Nine of Wands, and the Chariot. They're trying to protect people's reputations, quick, fast, in a hurry. But this is really not particularly about him as much as it is the other rest of the organization, the other people that will be implicated. You understand what I'm saying? That's where the power is. That's where the power is. People didn't necessarily like him, didn't care for him, but they knew that he had the galls to run for office. And they knew that once he got in office, he will be the savior to protect them all. And what I am telling you is he knows that they're coming for him. Okay? They know. The question also becomes, what do they know, Spirit? What do they know? The friendships with the Three of Cups, the parties. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, them Epstein files is about to be that man's downfall. The Six of Wands. And the Two of Wands. Y'all, this man is going down. They was all out there partying, celebrating, and having a good time until one became unsuccessful. Once he started going down in West Palm Beach, they got stuck like Chuck. And they had to come up with a plan. If you may recall, he being Epstein, went down during the first administration. You understand what you pick up what I'm putting down? He had to get back into office because I regret to say, and everything here is alleged, as I have stated, he is going to come out as being a co-conspirator. Okay? That's what the cover-up is all about. They used him as a pawn to get him in office, to protect the integrity and reputation of others. However, this man was more so concerned about what was coming up in his name that he is willing to sue a dead man. Does that make sense to you? Who sues a dead person? A dead man who had no children, no wife, He had all these other crimes. I'm sure had to pay restitution. And it is also alleged that the day that he was declared dead, $50 million left one account and was transferred to another account. Who else has something to lose? That's where all the power is. That's why that matters. Now, what obligations or expectations are being shaped by decisions? What obligations and expectations are shaping decisions? We got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. The Nine of Swords in reverse. I didn't expect for that to come out like that. All right. So we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, followed by the Nine of Swords in reverse, followed by the Three of Swords in reverse, and the World card in reverse. What is this telling me? I asked the question, what obligations are shaping the decisions? Well, for one, him getting back in office is not working. Okay, that's the first thing. It's not working. And that's where people are panicked, and that's where people are frightened, because they are so codependent on this man trying to protect them, their shame. These people don't want this stuff out. Even if it was something as simple as, you know, just a party where things got out of hand. Okay, if you're a high value person full of integrity, who wants to be associated with that? Because as they say in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happened at those parties should have stayed at those parties, but they didn't. Now, we have the Three of Swords in reverse, followed by the World card in reverse. Okay, again, what is this telling me? People want to move on with their lives and act like nothing happened. People want to act like they weren't there, but you were. They want to act like they wasn't a part of it, but you was. This is old. Okay, this is old. They wanted to bury this. They wanted to walk away and take this with them to their grave. And they put their money into him. And I'm going to say this because I keep hearing this. I said it earlier, but I'm going to repeat it again. They did not support or endorse him because they thought he was competent. Okay? We all know that he's demented. They put him there to use him as a pawn. I am hearing people, as I'm talking to you, say very disparaging things about him. But they invested in him because they knew that he equally had enough at stake to lose. And what this is saying is that it's not working. It's not working. Okay? People are embarrassed that their names are being revealed, that these pictures are coming up. Pictures they ain't seen in years are coming up. And think about it. It wasn't even social media back then. All right. Now, the question then becomes, is he making his decisions on his own, or is he compromised? Is Donald Trump making decisions on his own, or is he compromised? Is Donald Trump making decisions on his own, or is he compromised? That's a really good question. All right. There we go. All right. Something about Bundy is going to come out too. Pam Bundy. I said Paul. Pam. Okay, is Donald Trump making his own decisions, or is he being compromised? That's the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. That's the slowest moving energy in the damn deck, y'all. Hangman. The Four of Swords. Listen, this man, I hate to say it, y'all. He's taking so many risks that he's regretting. It's not even funny. He's really starting to see how much people have used him. But the sad part is he's also so prideful that he's not going to admit it. He's going to stick to the story because, again, this goes back to that Sagittarius moon and that Leo rising, affecting how he sees himself, what he believes about himself, his public image, his performance, and his authority. When I tell you, he is not going to admit at all, for any reason, to anybody, to any capacity. He's going to take that to his grave. He's not going to let anybody know that he came to the aha moment that people were using him this whole time. And that's really unfortunate. That is really freaking unfortunate. He's not sleeping at night either. Okay, with this Four of Swords in reverse. And he's probably not sleeping at night because his intuition is stopping him. I told you guys that this man is probably having dreams about going to jail. Nightmares, to be in fact. So when he is not sleeping, his intuition is kicking his butt. Not necessarily his intuition, but his thoughts, which are being influenced by his intuition. I told y'all, imprisonment and meeting. Somebody's setting this man up. And you know how I know that? Because of this card. Danger lurks, treacherous paths, ominous shadows. We also got the elevator. Vertical transport. Transit between floors. Accessibility. We talking about vertical transport. It didn't say upward. Okay? It didn't say upward. Think about it. Okay? Something is going down. Something is going down. Okay? Oh, Lord. A part of me really wants to know what is going down. Do I really want to ask that question? What is going down with Donald Trump? What is going on with Donald Trump? And remember, this is all alleged, okay? This reflects systemic pressure, not intent. What is going down with Donald Trump? What is going down? What is going down with Donald Trump? Now, you know that's too many cards. We got the Four of Pentacles. He's trying to protect his assets. I said that earlier. And how be it that that's New York skyline in the background. He's got some assets he's trying to protect. We also got this Six of Swords again. Yeah. He never thought that he was going to be in this place where he had to fight for everything. He's fighting, y'all. I don't care what nobody say. This man is over here fighting. Fighting for his life. Fighting for his life like Sophia in The Color Purple. All my life I had to fight. This man is fighting. Okay? This man is fighting. This did not come out the way that he thought that this was going to turn out. Okay? Did not. Nor will it. That's what he's trying to protect. So I said, what is going down with Donald Trump? His assets. The things that he thought he was going to take to the grave. Yep. I just said he's losing his assets. Here we go with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Losing. Okay? What is going down? The Six of Pentacles. He's going to have to pay restitution. Whatever is going down with him, he's going to have to pay. Not just in time, but in money. And I'm saying that because the scales are here. Justice. He's going to have to pay. Yep. He's going to have to pay. Especially, yeah, he's going to have to pay. I wouldn't be surprised if something goes down with his wife too. Jesus. Y'all. I have no words. Okay, I have no words. There are no words. What is going on with the wife spirit? Y'all shut the front door. Y'all. Listen. When all of this hit the fan, I really strongly feel like I wouldn't be surprised if Melania tries to walk away and leave him at his low point. And I wouldn't be surprised if she's not thinking about it now. With the Sun card and the Two of Swords, this is someone looking forward to a decision, looking forward to something, being happy about something. So when all of this hits the fan with this World card and this Five of Swords, she's planning on leaving him. Jesus. She gonna act like she didn't know nothing. And she was front and center. Front and center, and gonna walk away and act like she ain't know nothing. Watch what I tell you. She gonna find a way to clear herself of this. So let's look at the emotional landscape. And I know we've been diving deep and talking about a lot of different things. I'm kind of getting angry just thinking about this because it's just like this is shenanigans. Okay. Now, what emotional theme dominates this phase of Donald Trump's life? What is the emotional theme that is dominating this phase of Donald Trump's life? Okay. I heard greed when this card came out. The King of Swords. Yeah, that dictatorship. He wants to control things. This is about greed. He sees himself as being a dictator. The Lovers. Yep. And the Magician. Y'all, he's surrounding himself very intentionally. Like I said in the beginning of this reading, whereas people see incompetence, I can assure you he is not as slow as people think that he is. He knows exactly what he's doing and why he's doing it. And he's intentionally surrounding himself with people who know how to do things. Remember earlier I said it's something going on with Pam Bundy? It's something going on. He had a reason for coming up in here and doing what he's doing. So we talked about that emotional phase. That's what this is about. He's being very objective about why he's doing what he's doing. No one is going to be able to tell him nothing. He is doing this on purpose. Again, it's the protection. It's the protection. Where is their exhaustion or suppression going on with Donald J. Trump? Y'all. Listen. He has been waiting for these tidings to come. He's been waiting for things to be finalized, and it's not happening. And he's also getting frustrated that he really doesn't know what to do with the people that he's running out of runway. Yeah, he's running out of runway. Things are not working. And he doesn't know what to do because he doesn't know why it's not working. When I tell you this man is stressed out, stressed. If he were a rubber band, he's about ready to pop. I am so not kidding. Okay? So with that, I got to ask the question. What is being carried privately that the public never sees? What is being carried privately that the public never sees? Woo-wee. Do y'all see this? Lovers keep coming out. Lovers represents partnerships, obstacles, challenges, duality. We got the Death card in reverse. He's disappointed, y'all. He's disappointed. With the Lovers in reverse, followed by this Death card in reverse and the Six of Pentacles in reverse, these things are not working. The people that he appointed to protect him, it is not working, y'all. Do you hear me? It's not working. This is something, Stella, stop licking. This is something, this is something that is very damaging. And it's damaging because this is compromising him in so many different ways. And when you have people, I'm going to use Jerome Powell. I think that was his name, the guy over the Federal Reserve. That's one. You appointed him, and because he's not agreeing with you to make you look good, now you want to fire and replace him. I'm pretty sure the man is happy that he gone because now he got a peace of mind. He didn't compromise his integrity, but that's what he's used to, people compromising their integrity. I protect you and you protect me, but the thing is, everybody's realizing there's no loyalty when it comes to him. And they see that. They see that. So what is he carrying privately that the public doesn't see? He's frustrated. Stressed out to capacity and frustrated. Not understanding. Why is he being selfish like this? Why is it all about him right now? The Three of Wands. He's trying to make a plan to get away. He had a plan to escape. Yeah. Three of Cups. He thought he was going to walk away from this, y'all. This man thought that he was going to walk away from this and go on about his business. He just knew, child, they weren't going to be able to tell him nothing. He thought he was going to be able to stay there forever, block up whatever he needs to block, and die in peace. But that ain't what's happening. He thought he was going to build his ballroom and do whatever else he want to do. He's trying to build a legacy, y'all, that is untouchable, but in reality is very touchable. Right? Yeah. Y'all, this is about partnership. Y'all see the Six of Swords keep on coming out. He made promises that once the smoke from this goes away, he thought this was going to be short-lived. And this situation with the Epstein files just will not go away. It is not leaving. It's not going away. He wants to detach from this. He wants to be able to move on. He's like, can we please just get over it? And it's not happening. It's definitely not happening with this Eight of Wands in reverse. Again, everything here is alleged. I'm just reading some tarot cards and telling you what they say. So let's look at the relationship dynamics, because I know that this is definitely putting a strain on things. We've talked about that, but what is the relationship dynamics really looking like here? All right. This man is worried. Okay, this man is worried. It's going down. I can't say that enough. It's going down. So, are the relationships that he is facilitating reciprocal or transactional? And what we've already hinted to, that this has definitely been transactional. But let's find out and see. Are the relationships with Donald Trump transactional or relational? Tell me about the relationships with Donald J. Trump. It's a lot of arguing and fighting going on, I can tell you that. A lot of urgency. It's unflattering, uncomfortable. People not getting their way. They're upset with that Queen of Wands there. The Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, it's not working. There's a lot of tension in these relationships. So that will hint at them being transactional as well. Because if I made an agreement with you and I'm not getting what I wanted out of this, then what am I doing here? Why am I wasting my time? Why am I ruining my reputation for the integrity of you, and you don't even give a damn about how that's making me look and feel? I'm telling you, there's a lot of embarrassment here, y'all. I'm telling you. What boundaries are being blurred? This is all about people's freedom. This is all about people detaching from this negativity. They want this to be over, y'all. I can't state that enough. They are sick and tired of this, and they want to move on. We also got the Chariot in reverse. Again, it's not coming fast. And people are not who you think that they are. I wouldn't be surprised if we start hearing a lot of smoke about different people, high profile people that you I don't want to say worship. I'm going to say idolize, people that you idolize. A lot of people that you have high regard and high self-esteem about, or as high esteem, I should say, are going to be the people that are going to be revealed and exposed. Okay. So is this emotional? Or is this being influenced? Is this emotional? Y'all see this? Justice at the bottom of the deck. All right. Are these decisions being emotional or influenced? Yeah, they're definitely emotional. He can't sleep. I told you, he's stressed out. Nobody thinks straight when they stressed out. This man is not sleeping. I can't tell you that enough. Not sleeping, don't feel good, stressed out, don't know what to do, trying to leverage his resources as much as he can, promising to scratch people's backs, but they're not. And it's not freaking working. It's not working at all. It's a waste of time. What's done in the dark is coming to the light, y'all. And you will see it slowly but surely. It's up to you and what you believe. I know it's hard to believe, but it's definitely coming to the light. That's why there's a lot of strife and conflict going on right now with this Five of Swords. He's being an agent of chaos for a reason. He's trying to continuously distract you so that you look in what's going on over here, worrying about this person instead of worrying about what he's over here doing. Okay? This is definitely influencing. He's trying to level up one on top of somebody else so that he can protect himself. Okay? So when it comes to the legacy of Donald Trump, all right, we know the career is pretty much over because he's closer to the grave. But when it comes to the legacy of Donald J. Trump, what is the legacy of Donald J. Trump. What is the legacy of Donald J. Trump? The Five of Cups in reverse. The Judgment card in reverse. Y'all, this ain't looking good for this man at all. We got the Five of Swords in reverse, the Eight of Wands, and then the Nine of Swords in reverse. So, what is the legacy of Donald J. Trump? It ain't looking good. I'll tell you that right now. It is not looking good. Okay? At the end of the day, he's well aware. Even though he wants to play stupid, he's well aware that what is done in the dark is going to come to the light. This news, this evidence, the details of the vile, inhumane things that they did to women and children is going to come to the front light. He does not like that this information is coming out. He's going to continue to deny this information. He's going to continuously pretend like nothing ever happened. And it is so egregious because he knows that he was there. He knows what happened. He might be forgetful about a lot of things, but he has convenient amnesia. Okay, he does. There's no overcoming this. There's going to be swift justice. And when it does, he is going to try to say that he has mental health issues. He is going to try to lie and say that he's embarrassed that his secrets are being revealed. But he's going to blame it on mental illness. Okay, he's going to blame it on mental illness. That is very prideful of him. So I don't see him crying mental illness anytime soon. I don't. But as soon as the news starts to really break and crack down, I wouldn't be surprised if he's impeached and removed. And shortly thereafter, when that starts happening, to protect his legacy, he's going to start crying. He got a mental illness. We know he's deranged. We know that he's demented. But he's going to start saying he got something mentally wrong with him. And it's not cool. So, with that being said, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to ask. I guess I do. I want to know, will there be justice for the victims? Spirit, will there be justice for the victims? Give me a clear yes or no. Will there be justice for the victims? And when I say victims, I'm not just limiting it to the people that were mentioned and abused. I'm talking about everybody. The Lovers came out, followed by the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And the World card, followed by the Four of Swords. Yes, there will be justice. Okay, yes, there will be justice. There will be trying to do things to try to stop the justice from occurring. So there's going to be tampering of some sort, but it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. There's nothing they can do about it. There will be justice. And he's not going to die before then either. Okay, he's going to have to suffer. He's going to pay to suffer. So, you know, I'm not surprised by this at all. I'm sad by it. Again, everything here is alleged. Okay, I would hope that this is not the case, but that's where we are. So my next question is, what path of shadow is following Donald J. Trump? Let's do this real quick before I get out of here. What is the path of shadows that is following Donald J. Trump? Path of shadows following Donald J. Trump. Personal growth, transformation, and letting it go. But how about it's a toad, though? Okay. Personal growth, transformation, and letting it go. What else? Harpy, a creature of many guises, in a storm I soar, amid virtues and vices and reflections of life's score. Okay. What else? The Gorgon. The monster they feared, now I become, still seeking for revenge of my cold hearts of stone. Y'all, it is not looking good for this man. It is not looking good for this man. And at the bottom of the deck, we got the Vampire. In the night's embrace, where desires ignite, my hunger keeps consuming in the sky sight. Okay? The things that are done in the dark will be coming to the light. So again, remember everything that I said here is alleged, okay? Remember that I did say everything here is alleged. Remember that visibility amplifies anything, including pressure. What we've explored tonight is not just about the person, but it's about what fame asks of the human being inside, okay? I want to thank you so much for holding space for me. Thank you so much for joining PiSeas Tarot. Keep a lookout. We got other celebrity readings coming up tomorrow and Sunday. And then we also have some for next weekend scheduled as well. So keep a lookout, and I will see you next time. Bye.